Hey, it's Patty. I wanted to show you this card. There's a lot of parts to it, and I did a lot of the work ahead of time, but I think it's really cute. It says, I feel at home when I'm with you, and then it does open. You can put a piece of Whisper White cardstock in there and put another sentiment or just write, write some thoughts down there or wishes. So let's get started. I use the At Home With You, and when I first saw this I thought Christmas because I saw the wreath and the garland and all that stuff. There's some autumn, there's another Christmas, but then I thought it reminded me of my home that I raised my kids in. We built a log home, and I used the wood embossing folder, and I'll show you that. And we had these lights, and just kind of reminded me of that. So I thought I would make it this way, and then come around the holidays, I'll make it with the Christmas or autumn theme. It comes with these framelets. Some of them look kind of odd. This one, I believe, is to, I guess it doesn't have a stamp. I thought it, oh, maybe it goes along this. And of course the stamps are bigger. There's the one for this little bush here, the garland, the present. This is to cut out the lights. So there's a lot. This is the welcome mat. So I cut out a lot of the pieces already, and I did some of the coloring, and I'm going to show you how to cut out the door, because the door is a little bit different, and then how I colored them, and I'll also do this embossing for the background. So let's get started. Let me just move this aside, and I think the first thing we'll do is we'll emboss. So I have a piece of Tip Top taupe, and let me get my big shot here. Now this piece is 4 3/4 by 4. So it's just a little bit shy of what I normally have as a layer, because I have a piece of the wood grain paper here. So we're going to put the tab 1 or tab 2. Ooh, I'm sorry. Whoa, I keep knocking into my camera. I have it overhanging here. So let's put the plate down. And this is the embossing folder. It's called Pinewood Planks Dynamic Textured Impressions Embossing Folder. So this is one of those deep embossing folders. You can spritz your cardstock to get it a little bit even deeper. I didn't think it was necessary. I was fine with the way it came out. So I'm just going to try to make it straight and place it in here. And you always want to place the fold first. So I'm on tab 1. Which is for embossing folders. Oh, and on this one, you don't put a plate underneath it. Forgot about that. It's a very thick embossing folder, so you don't need the underneath plate. If I tried to do that and I forgot, it wouldn't actually go through. So of course I have my my handle the wrong way. I put this down the wrong way. So I'm going to go through once, and then I'm going to go back again. I hope this doesn't look too weird to you guys. And here we have this beautiful wood. Isn't that pretty? So now we have that piece done, and there's the embossed and the debossed side, so you can pick whichever one you wanted. So let me get rid of this, and I'm just going to turn this around because it feels awkward to me, and have the handle on my side. Okay, so now I have it closed full, and I'm going to take a piece of Whisper White cardstock. Actually, I already have it stamped. Where's my door? Here's my door. I already have it stamped, so I stamped it in the archival black ink, and this is going to cut out this door. Now, let me just show you. On your framelets, there's 2 pieces, and I do them in 2 steps. So first is the actual outside frame, and you just want to line that up. That looks good. And then the second step will be to put your door so that it opens. And I tried to do this together, but I thought it was easier to do it separate. Because they kind of overlapped. So now we have our door, and now we want to open the door. So you take this second piece, I'm going to bring this over here again, and if you want to have your door be able to open like this, you need to cut this out. Now this one has a flat side that doesn't have a blade. These are all blades around, so you have to make sure the flat side is on the side that you don't want to cut, and the blade is right at the edge of everything, so we want to line it up so that it covers the edge of that inside part. So, sorry, I just want to get it right. Okay, now we can, now I have it underneath. There we go. So now we can run it through. And that's going to actually cut the bottom off. I kind of struggled with this when I made the card because I was trying to figure out how the bottom worked. So now you'll see it's cut all along. Okay, and what you have to do is then fold that. It doesn't give you a score line, but it's not too bad to fold. So let's do that right now. There's probably a trick to this, but I don't know it. When I learn it, I'll share it with you. Okay, now you want to have this go on top of a piece of white cardstock. So I have another piece just cut a little bit smaller than this. So this was, when I measured the width, it was 2 inches. So I cut this just under 2. I don't know if you can see this, but let me just lift it up. So it's just under the 2 inch, and then it goes to 3.5 up the side. So that's the size. I mean, I just measured it. I tried to figure it out. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I'm going to just eyeball it right in the middle, and I'm going to do that in the basic black as well. So we'll just stamp this. Kind of put it in the middle. Okay. And what we want to do is adhere this to the outside and then adhere it to this. But first I'm going to color it. Now I did a lot of the coloring already, these pieces, and what I did was I used the blender pen, and what I did was I took the ink pads. So for instance, the yellow in here, I just squeezed the ink pads and I went and took the ink off of here. So let me finish the flowers. I have one undone to show you. So you want to just make sure that there's no ink on this, and you pick up the ink. This is called a blender pen. You get 3 of them in a pack, and you just color. And as you're coloring, you'll see that it gets lighter the more you're coloring, so you just have to pick up more. Like if I kept going, it wouldn't have enough on it, I guess. So I just did all of that flower in the yellow, and then to clean this, you just go on your paper until it doesn't show any color anymore. So this I did in the Daffodil Delight, and then I did Sweet Sugar Plum for the vase, or the plant stand I should call it. And I did the same thing. I did the squeezing, and now I'm just going to pick up the ink and color it in. And I'm not sure if I used the same colors when I made the first one, to be honest, because I made it a while ago and I just didn't film. So this one is the Sweet Sugar Plum, and we just clean that off. So see, I didn't want to make you live through all of this with me, so I did all of these. So this has the what is this called? Smoky Slate and the Daffodil Delight, and then I used the Peekaboo Peach on the orange flowers. So I had already done the squeezing on this to get my palette, and I'm just going to kind of do an X here just to color these in. That's kind of how I felt it. It was an X. So let's see, we'll get these done quick. And it's important that you use the archival black ink, otherwise the ink would be bleeding into the coloring as you're wetting it. So that's an important key. Okay, I think we got all of those done. Let me just clean that off. And then we'll just do the leaves. Now the leaves I used Old Olive, and I actually have a very old, I've had this one of the first colors I ever got with Stampin' Up, and it was years ago. So it's an old ink pad, so just bear with me. I just keep re-inking it with the re-inkers, so one of these days maybe I'll buy a new pad. Oh, I missed a flower there. I'm going to just color it in the green, it won't matter. Okay, so that's done. The other thing I wanted to do with these is put some Winkostella in to make them look like they're shining. I don't know if you can see them. I did that on these windows and on these. So let me get that going. And then I just need to color the door frame, and then we can put things together. So let me get my Winkostella. And this just, it dries very quick. It just gives it a little bit of shine. And actually I should have done the candles. Oh well, that doesn't matter. We have white candles in the windows. I did them gray on the other one. And then I'm just going to do real quick these windows as well. So I don't know if you could see it here, but it's just giving it a little shine. Now with the door, I'm going to color it with the watercolor pencils because I think it would be too streaky doing it with the ink pads and the blender. So I'm going to color it with these watercolor pencils, and I'm going to use Early Espresso and Old Olive. So again, this reminds me of my home where I raised my kids in New York, upstate New York. We had it, I couldn't believe it when I saw the lights on the side. I was like, wow, that's exactly what we had. So I'm just going to color this lightly. We'll do the whole door frame and then the doorknobs. And then I'm going to blend it in. And when I blend it in, it will make it all look nice. Oops. So just bear with me. This is why I didn't want to color the whole thing with you guys. I thought you would be tired of watching. So I'll do this a little bit darker. And then I did the green, and I tried to do the kind of the lines a little dark, and then I did the panels, I guess you'd call them, a lighter, so that it would look like there's a little bit of contrast there. So let's get these all done. And I'll go around here. I'm hoping we don't get another thunderstorm. It's been thunderstorming like crazy down here in the middle of the afternoon. And I mean, it's booming. It's crazy. So let's see, the only thing, let me get the outside of this door, and then I'm going to do a light color down around here. So I'm just going to lightly color it in. And it doesn't matter, I'll go right over those. And then the blender pen will make it look all nice and pretty. It'll kind of take those lines out that you get when you color. Guess I should try to get the edge of this darker. Boy, I'm looking like a kindergartner coloring. Okay, so I'm going to do the light colors first. Make sure there's no ink on it. And it just kind of blends it in and takes away the lines. And I would suggest, you know, to do the light colors, just if you have any dark on your pen, it'll, you know, in the light area, it'll kind of ruin it. So let's go all in here and see how that looks. It takes away all those lines. It's just moving the watercolor pencil around. So for big areas, I figured it would be very blotchy if I use the ink pad with squeezing it and doing that method. So let's see. Let me just do the dark real quick. And we'll just go right around everything. So there's a lot of pieces to this, but I think, you know, once you cut them out and get it going, it's fun to color. One of these days I'm going to learn how to speed up my video so you can miss some of this stuff, but I'm not there yet. So I'm going to take the ink off of this, and then I'll color in the brown. We even had a green door in my house in New York. So, and it had the glass. Just really brings back memories. My son bought the house, so he lives in there now, so I do get to go there and see it. And then we'll do the doorknob. Probably could have done a little bit of a better job, but close enough. Okay. So the next step is to attach this. And I'm going to attach it a little bit up so we can have our welcome sign. And I did this in the old olive. So we'll try to lay it out. And oh, I've got to put this inside first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just very lightly put some glue around the edge of this. Actually, maybe I'll put it, let me see how far over it goes. Maybe I'll put it on the edge of this. Because then it can actually go down on the paper. I didn't mean for so much to come out here. And this is the kind of thing that you have to play with a little bit, because I think the first time I did it, I left the bottom somehow where it wasn't able to open. So live and learn, right? So I'm going to just put some more glue on here, put it all on here, so the whole thing glues down. Let me just get that off so I don't stick something else on it. And we'll do the welcome sign here. So let's make sure that's straight. And we'll place this down. Okay, So now I'll put the welcome sign down. Just add a little blue to that. And then the other things I'm going to pop up with the dimensionals. Okay, so it's coming together. Let me see. So the other thing I have, so my card base is Early Espresso, A2 size card, and then I have a piece of this wood grain paper, and this is from the, what is it called? The Wood Textures Designer Series paper. So we're going to just lay this out, see how to place it down, kind of make it, so I think I'm going to put this down first, and I'm going to do this with the snail. I love this wood grain paper. It has so many different textures, and they're so realistic. And I know this looks probably on camera like it's all blending in together. It's a lot of woods, but that's how my house was. So it makes sense to me. So I'm going to just put all of this down. And I'm just putting a lot on here because it is has dimension to it. It is somewhat textured. So let's see. That looks about right. So what we have is, you know, this is the floor, I'll say, and then we're going to just pop these up on each side, hang my wreath, and then we'll put these on each side here. So let me get my dimensionals out and start popping these things up. I'll put 2 on this. I'll put that one a little down far. I'll put that one down here. And the same thing on this one. And I really like the sentiments in here. Let me just show you while I'm doing this. So some of these, like, so the welcome I stamped on here, but then this hello and thanks and grateful, they fit in here. You can also fit things in here. It's nice. You can do the wreaths and then put the bow on it. I mean, they give you all the pieces to really make a nice scene. So let me get the mini dimensionals. This seems a little awkward here. And I'm just looking at this. I must have cut around the white edge. I don't think I wanted the white edge here. See it here? I mean, it looks okay because everything else has the white edge. I was looking at that saying it looks different. So again, I made it a while back. So these are the new mini dimensionals, and I think I made this card before I got these. This will make it so much easier because sometimes you need a tiny dimensional. I'm actually going to try to take this big one off because you can see through it, or you could see it on the other side. Okay, phew. Wasn't sure if that was going to come off or not. So let's see. Put these. There we go. So we'll just hang our wreath down here. And then I think we can use the regular dimensionals for this one. I think I'm just going to put one in the middle. And then we're done. Again, you can put a piece of Whisper White cardstock on the inside and put another sentiment in there. And as I was saying, so you can have, you know, thank you for your, or on your new home, so happy you're here, those kinds of sentiments. So I think it's good. All right, so here we are. I know there is a lot to that, and I'm a little messy with it, but these are the two cards. My coloring is a little different than it was on this one, but I think, you know, every card is a little bit different. And it has the open up here. So I think this is great. I'm probably going to cut this off here because I think it's, or maybe I'll color it brown or something, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm too picky. Let me know what you think of them, and thanks for joining me. Have a good day. Bye.